I got me one person in my first block. I'm gonna have to assign somebody in my second block too to remind me. All right. So with our standard, we're going to be able to read, write, and compare decimals to the thousands. So our I can statement, I can read and write decimals to the thousands place in word form, standard form, expanded form, and I can compare two decimals to the thousands place using benchmark comparisons or a place value chart. So let's take a look at some of our new vocabulary today. Well, we know about standard form, and standard form uses our digits. You only see the number using digits. Word form, you only see the number using words, and then expanded form is a number using a value of each digit added together. And we know in fifth grade we have to multiply each digit by the place that it's in order to represent it in expanded form. And now our new skill for today, we're going to compare. So that means we're going to determine which number is larger or smaller using symbols. And some of our other vocabulary, if I ask you what place, I want to know the location. If I ask you the value, that means I want to know how much it's worth. And our decimal, if you see a decimal is any number that contains a decimal point and it separates the whole number from the fraction part, such as the tenths, hundredths, and thousands place. All right, so now I need everybody to make sure that you're viewing my screen. We have our number of the day. This time, today, instead of writing the digits in the place value chart, I wrote our digits in word form first. Well, I wrote our number in word form. Can I have somebody raise their hand in the chat? How would we read our number of the day? How would I read it? That goes back into our standard for what we've been practicing for this week. How would I read that? And Miss Reese, let me know if we have any volunteers. Remember, I want to see that participation. I need to see that participation.
Not yet. Everybody don't volunteer at the same time.
Oh, well, we're going to end up just calling on some folks. Josiah, come on, Josiah.
Oh.
Yep, I'll get you next, Jarvis. Josiah, read me this number that's circled. How will we read this number? Go ahead, unmute. Zanaya, you could go ahead.
47,000.
47,000. And be prepared, Josiah, because I'm still come back to you. But yes, that is correct. Zanaya, it is 47,000. Now, Zanaya, help me out. Now, I want to put this 47,000 in our place value chart. I want to put this 47,000 in our place value chart. So I know I go up to the thousands place, and I don't see, we know when we have our decimals that if we usually can see if it's separated in word form, if we have that word and I don't see that we have the word and, so that means that we don't have any whole numbers. We only have decimals. So how would I write this decimal 47 thousandths? How would I write that? With digits, like for example, I would need a 0 in the ones place. What digit would I need next in the tenths place, Zanaya?
You will need 4 because 4 rods will equal up to 40.
Okay, so I'm gonna put 4 in my tenths, and then so what that mean? I need to put a 7 in my hundredths.
Wait.
So yeah, let's look at that. Because if I put a 4 in my tenths and a 7 in my hundredths, is that 47,000, Zanaya?
Oh no.
That's 47 hundredths, but that's okay. Now, how can I fix it? What do I need to do to fix this?
So you have to erase the 4 and erase the 7.
Yep. So what should go, and since we don't have a value, so we were able to notice there's no value for our tenths place. So what digit do I need to write if we don't have a value?
0.
Yep. So I'm going to write a 0 in what place?
The tens place.
The tenths. Now, what digit do I need to write in my hundredths place?
You need to write 4.
Mm-hmm. And now what digit do I need to write next in my thousands place?
A 7.
A 7. Very good. Now I have 47 thousandths. Great job working through that, Zanaya. I'm so proud of you. So yes, sometimes we might realize that we might get a little confused when we have a decimal, especially if it gives us a missing place. So I'm going to convert our numbers into our digits under standard form. So we had 0 in the ones place, decimal, 0 in the tenths place, and then 4 in the hundredths place, and 7 in the thousands place. 47 hundredths, guys. Now pay close attention, especially if you missed class at the beginning of this week or last week. I'm going to review and show you guys how to write it in expanded form. So remember, we can use our place value chart to help us. So I have a 0 in my ones. 0 doesn't have a value, so I don't need to write out a value for that. Remember, expanded form, we can see how much each digit is worth. Well, 0 isn't worth anything, so I'm not going to write it. Next, I have another 0 in my tenths place. 0 isn't worth anything, so I'm not going to write it. But now I have a 4, the digit 4, in my hundredths place. So that means that 4 is worth 4 hundredths. So I'm going to write my 4 hundredths in expanded form. So 4 times, and I need to remember, decimals are like fractions. So I'm going to write 4 times 1/100th. That equals 400, guys. So I know last year in 4th grade, you wrote expanded form a little bit different, but now in 5th grade, we have to write it as a multiplication equation and then add it together. So that 4 times 1/100th equals 4 hundredths. Next, I have a 7 in my thousandths place, and that's worth 7 thousandths. So I'm going to write my equation, 7 times 1/1000. And now that is my expanded form. And that's it, guys. That's all for this problem. So that was our number of the day, 47 thousandths. Okay. So today, remember, we said that we were going to learn how to compare our decimals to the at least up to the thousands place. Well, we're going to start by kind of reviewing some things. So guys, this year I'm going to try to incorporate telling you guys about math, teaching you about math, while at the same time letting you learn about scholarships, credit, loans, debt. We're going to learn about so many things. So for today, we're going to learn about tuition. So tuition is a sum of money charged for instruction at a college. So right now, Ms. Baker, I'm back at Georgia State University getting my master's degree, and I have to pay tuition. I'm paying for school. So we're going to talk about that tuition, and then later on we're going to talk about scholarships that can help you have to avoid paying for tuition and why it's good to have scholarships. But before we get into that, Ms. Reese is going to go over the steps for comparing our decimals. And actually, Ms. Reese, as you read the first steps, I'm going to model as you read the steps.
Okay. So, you guys, the steps are used to help us be able to figure out what process are we going through as we are comparing decimals. So when we have two decimal numbers that we want to compare, the first thing that we have to do is write the numbers in our place value chart. And so you'll notice that there are two place value charts. The first one is for the first number, and the second one is for the second number. So I'm going to make sure that as I'm writing the number, I'm putting each digit in the correct place value where it belongs. Okay, so that's step one.
Yep, we're on step one. I'm going to put each digit in the correct place. So I'm going to read this first sentence. It says, in-state tuition at Georgia State University costs $4,632.24. So really, so even though it says that's money, $4,000, really I can read that as a decimal. So really this is 4,632 and 24 hundredths. Notice there's a difference between the comma and your decimal. Guys, you're going to have to make sure that you're learning your places. So the decimal can always help you determine what place a digit is in. So I know if I come and start at my decimal and I move to the right, this is the tenths and then the hundredths place. But if I start at my decimal and then I move to the left, this is my ones, tens, hundredths, and then thousands place. So I see that 4 is in the thousands place. So I'm going to come up here to my place value chart, and let me change my color to make it a little brighter so that you can see. I'm going to place a 4 in my thousands place, a 6 in my hundreds place, a 3 in my tens place, a 2 in my ones place. There's going to be another 2 in the tenths place, and then lastly a 4 in our hundreds place. I have 4,632 and 24 hundredths. So remember, this is the cost of tuition at Georgia State University.
Ms. Baker,
yes.
Can I share a strategy when you get ready to write that second number?
Yes, absolutely. And I'm actually about to get ready to write it right now, but I need somebody to read the second sentence for me because I want to see if we remember our standard of how to read a number. So can I get some hands in the chat? Who can read the second sentence for me? Read that second sentence. And remember, right now, you just need to be viewing my screen. Go ahead, Trinaya. Read that second sentence for me. Right here.
In state
tuition
at Georgia South University costs $3 million.
Oh wait, not quite. Hold on. Let's start. So start from. Remember, you can start from your decimal and then count over. So this is our decimal. If I move to the left, that's the ones, tens, hundreds, then the thousands place.
Oh,
so try one more time.
3,424 decimal.
What do we replace that decimal with? What word? What word do we replace when we see a decimal? Remember, in the first problem, I said 4,632 and 24 hundredths. So now read me the problem one more time, Trinaya. You got it.
3,424 and 69.
69 what?
6,900.
Yep, 6,900. Go, Trinaya. Now, Ms. Reese, what strategy are we going to use as we get ready to write our 3,424 and 6,900 into our place value chart?
Okay, guys. So if you have trouble figuring out where to start, use the punctuation in the problem to help you. So Ms. Baker, if you can circle our decimal point and circle our comma.
Yep, let me make this a little bit more tiny.
Okay.
So I'm going to do as Ms. Reese asked. I'm going to circle my decimal. I see that my decimal is right here in between the 4 and the 6. And then I have a comma that's in between the 3 and the 4, right there. Those two.
So I don't know where to start putting the 3, but I do see that there is also a decimal on the place value chart. So can you circle that decimal that's on the place value chart, please?
Yep, I sure will. So our decimal on the place value chart is right here.
Right. And so when I look at my number, I notice that behind the decimal, there are the digits 6 and 9. So I'm going to write my 6 in the first place behind the decimal and the 9 in the second place behind the decimal. Okay.
Got 69.
And then I notice there is one comma in my number. So can we circle the comma that's on the place value chart, please? That second one, yes. Thank you. So when I look back at my number, I notice in front of the comma, I see the digit 3. So that has to be in the thousands place.
Now I'm going to write my 3 in the thousands place.
And then behind the comma, I see 4, 2, and 4. So I'm going to fill that in my hundreds, my tens, and my ones place. So that's a strategy, you guys. So if you have a long number and you can't figure out where to start or what place value is in, use the commas and use the decimal point to help you figure out where each digit belongs. Okay, thank you, Ms. Baker.
Well, thank you, Ms. Reese. And also, guys, you have to learn to look at your place value chart. Look, at the bottom, they have the words written for you. So as you're trying to read the number, make sure you're looking at your place value chart or thinking about each place. Next, so now we completed step 1. So remember, over here, step 1, it was write the numbers in a place value chart, lining up the digits in each place. So we have our 4 in the thousands place, our 3 in the thousands place, and from there on, we lined up all the other digits in the correct place. Now we're going to move on to step 2 by comparing the digits from left to right, from largest to smallest. So our largest place that we have is our thousands place. So I'm going to start here in my thousands place. So note, I have the digits 4 and 3 in my thousands place. What do we know? I just want to know, what do we know about the digits 4 and 3? If we're comparing them, what do we know? Ashley, are you able to unmute? What do we know about the digits 4 and 3? Just in general, what do we know about those two digits? We're on step 2. Go ahead, Ashley. You able to go ahead? I can hear you.
The ones that's in yellow.
Yes, 4 and 3. What do we know about those two digits if we were to compare them?
4 is bigger than 3.
4 is bigger than 3. So now what does that tell us about the tuition for Georgia State versus the tuition for Georgia Southern? What does that let us know, Ashley? And let's think back to our question. Does it cost more to attend the real GSU, which is Georgia State University, or the fake GSU, which is Georgia Southern University? So y'all, Miss Edmonds, our stream teacher, she went to Georgia Southern. She went to the fake GSU, y'all. So now, Ashley, think about it. So now that we started comparing our digits, we started in our largest place, and our largest place was the thousands place. And we got here and we saw, like you said, the 4 is greater than the 3. So now answer our question. Does it cost more to attend the real GSU, Georgia State, or does it cost more to attend Georgia Southern? Which one does it cost more to attend?
The fake one.
Okay, so let's look. The Georgia Southern, they cost $3,424.69 for tuition. Georgia State costs $4,632.
Laid up, coming thinking about.
So now, which one does it cost more? Make
I heard from you.
Trinaya, make sure you mute it. Go ahead, Ashlyn.
Georgia University. The bottom one.
Okay, so it costs more. It's gonna cost more. So guys, make sure you're looking here at the chart. Thank you for helping me out, Ashlyn, with letting me know that 4 is greater than 3. So I'm gonna use that information, y'all. The first number right here, that's Georgia State. That's Georgia State. And the second number on our chart, that's Georgia Southern, the fake GSU. Okay, but we can see since our 4 that's in the thousands place is greater than the 3 that's in the thousands place, we can determine that it actually costs more to attend the real GSU, Georgia State, and that's okay because we have a quality education, whether it is to attend the fake GSU. So I'm going to model and show you guys how to write a comparison statement. Make sure that you pay attention. So I want to write that 4,632 and 2,400 is greater. So I'm going to use the greater than symbol, and the greater than symbol, I know it has the largest opening facing that number. 4,632 and 2,400 is greater than 3,424 and 6,900. That's my comparison statement. So if I answer my question, does it cost more to attend the real GSU or the fake GSU? We can see it costs more to attend the real GSU. And don't forget step 3, where we circle the largest place value. So we circle both of those digits and we were able to compare them. Now we're going to try one more together and practice, guys. Make sure you are paying very close attention. All right.
And guys, remember your camera should be on. So we have a whole lot of students that do not have their cameras on. So remember your camera should be on at this time.
Ms. Reese, do you want to go over our go back through our instructions one more time?
Sure.
For our place value chart with our comparing decimals.
Okay. So again, remember we have 2 place value charts. We're going to write our digits in the correct places on those place value charts so that we can compare them, okay? So our first sentence says, out-of-state tuition at Georgia State University costs $12,258.44. And I read that as a dollar amount, but can somebody raise their hand and read it as you would read it with your tenths, hundredths, and thousandths? So without reading it as money, but just reading it as a normal number. Can somebody read that for us?
Yep. Help us out. Reread this sentence for us right here. Out-of-state tuition.
Tell us, what would that number be if it wasn't money? If we were just talking about a regular number, how would we read that? Okay, so I guess, are we just going to have to, oh, Paradise, thank you for raising your hand. I appreciate that. So Paradise, can you read that number for us, please?
And make sure, look at your decimal and then look at your comma. Remember, if you move to the right of your decimal, that's the tenths and the hundredths place. If you move to the left of your decimal, that's the ones, tenths, hundreds, thousands, and 10,000s. Go ahead, Paradise. Read me this number.
12,258 and 44.
44 what?
100.
Yep, good job. 12,258 and 4,400. Great job, Paradise.
Awesome.
So, like Ms. Reese said, we're going to start off. Remember, step 1, let's look over here at our chart. We're going to write those numbers in our place value chart by lining them up in the correct place. So now notice, so in our first problem, we talked about in-state tuition. Now, you guys might notice at the beginning of this sentence, I put out-of-state tuition. So out-of-state tuition is charged for students who lived in a different state before attending college. So guys, there's 2 different types of tuitions. You get in-state tuition. So like Ms. Baker, I pay in-state tuition at Georgia State because I lived in Georgia all of my life. So I get a cheaper price. But if somebody lived in Texas and they wanted to come and go to Georgia State, they would have to pay the out-of-state tuition because they didn't grow up in Georgia. So notice how Georgia State, the in-state tuition was $4,000. Now the out-of-state tuition is $12,000. So I want to first put my 12,258 in my place value chart. What place should I put my 1 in? The 1 in 12,258 and 4,400. What place should I start writing my number in? I'm on step 1. We want to start writing our number in the place value chart. But I want to start with my greatest place. What place should I put that 1 in? Eric. What place should I put the 1 in, Eric?
And don't forget, if you need to use the punctuation. So if you need to use that comma to help you figure out where it goes, use the comma.
Eric, were you able to unmute? So our commas, we have a comma in between the both 2's. So I'm going to circle my comma, and then we also have a decimal between the 8 and the 4. So I circled my comma and I circled my decimal on our place value chart. Where do I need to write the digits 1 in, Eric? I don't know if it's able to unmute. Roia, help me out. And then, matter of fact, Jarvis, I'm gonna call on you next too.
You have to write it in the 10,000 place.
What? Thank you, Eric. What had happened? You was trying to get your mic on.
Yeah.
Yes, so you're correct. I'm going to write my digit 1 in the 10,000s place. Where am I going to write the 2?
The thousands.
In the thousands place. And then I'm going to write my other 2 in the hundreds place. We have a 5 in our tens place, an 8 in our ones place. We have our 4 in our tenths place, and then a 4 in our hundredths place. All right. So then we have our next statement. It says in-state tuition. So that means that if you live in the state of Georgia and you want to attend Clark Atlanta University, it costs $12,561.07 or $12,561.07. So I'm going to come over here and write that number in my place value chart. All right. Am I ready to move on to step 2? I want to compare. Am I ready to move on? Let's look at our chart. Jarvis.
Josiah has his hand raised too.
Okay, I'm going to go to Jarvis and then you, Josiah, because I know I had told Jarvis earlier I was going to call on him. Jarvis, help me out. Are we ready to move on to step 2? And remember, step 1 is write the numbers in the place value chart, lining the digits up in each place. You ready, Jarvis? You with me? Okay, go ahead. Are we ready to go to step 2, Jarvis?
Yes.
All right. Did I write each digit in the correct place? Let's look at this 1 in 12,000. What place is this 1 in 12,000? The one that I just underlined. 10, what place is that in?
10,000.
It's in the 10,000 place. Let's look up here at the chart. Did I write the 1 in the 10,000s place?
No.
No, I wrote it in the 100,000s place. I messed up. I wrote it in the wrong place. You want to make sure that you don't make the same mistake that Ms. Baker did. So now, because now it makes it seem like this number is a totally different number. Now this is 125,000 instead of 12,000. So I have to start over. Guys, that's what you want to make sure you do. Line it up. We actually had a song, line it up, line it up. You gotta line your digits up in the correct place. So now I'm going to rewrite it. Thank you for helping me, Jarvis. I should have my 1 in the 10,000s place. Now my 2 in my thousands place, a 5 in the hundreds place, 6 in the tens place, a 1 in my ones place, 0 in the tenths place, and then a 7 in the hundreds place. So now I can see that the in-state tuition at Clark Atlanta University is $12,561.07. Now our question asks, would it be cheaper to live out of the state of Georgia and attend out of state and attend Georgia State University, or live in state and attend Clark Atlanta University? So we want to get a comparison statement. Ms. Reese, we ready to move on to step 2, and we're going to start comparing. Oh, you muted, Ms. Reese.
Thank you. So for step 2, we're going to begin comparing the digits starting at the left or either in the greatest place value. So when I look at my 2 numbers, I notice that the largest place is actually the 10,000s place. So Ms. Baker is going to circle both of those digits in the 10,000s place so that I can compare. As I'm comparing, I'm asking myself, are those digits great? Is one greater than the other? Is one less than the other, or are they equal? In the first number, we have the digit 1. In the second number, we have the digit 1. So those 2 digits are equal. That means that we cannot compare in the 10,000s place, and we have to go to the next largest place value. So now we're going to move over to the thousands place. So we are looking for the largest place value where our digits are different. Okay, the largest place value where our digits are different. Okay, when we get to the thousands place, we notice in the first number, there's a 2. In the second number, there's also a 2. So those 2 digits are equal. 2 and 2 are the same number. So we cannot compare in the thousands place. Okay? So now we have to move over again. This time we're going to check the hundreds place. And Ms. Baker is going to circle our digits for us. And in the first number, we notice that we have the digit 2. In the second number, we notice that we have the digit 5. So our digits are different. So we're going to ask ourselves, 200s and 500s. Is 200s greater than, less than, or equal to 500s? Which one? Who can tell us? What do we know about 200s and 500s? What about Josiah? What do you want to tell us? So what do we know when we compare 200s and 500s? Josiah, can you unmute?
Yes.
Say it one more time.
I said, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. So you said, what was the question again?
Can you compare 200s and 500s? So what do we notice when we compare 200s and 500s?
We're right here at our hundredths place. So we saw that the 1 and 1 were equal, 2 and 2 are equal, but now we're right here in our hundredths place, and we have a 2 and then we have a 5. Is 2 greater than, less than, or equal to 5?
The 5 is greater than 2.
Yep, the 500 is greater than the 200. So now we can stop, guys. Once we have figured out the difference, we don't have to keep moving to the next place value now. So now, Josiah, let's think back to our question. Would it be cheaper to attend Georgia State or to attend Clark Atlanta?
Georgia State.
Yep, it will be cheaper to attend Georgia State. So for my comparison statement, do I need a greater than, less than, or equal sign?
The less than?
Yep, I need the less than sign. Now tell me, okay, so right here I got 12,258 and 44 hundredths, and that's for Georgia State. It's less than what? Read me the other number. It's less than what?
12,560. No, 12,561
Good.
and 7 cents.
7 cents or seven what? What place is that seven in? Right here.
700s.
Yep, 700s. Great job, Josiah. All right, guys. So that was our first mini lesson for comparing decimals. Don't forget your steps for comparing decimals. First, you want to write your decimals in the place value chart, line them up in the correct place value. Next, you want to go over to your largest place, and then you want to start comparing your digits from left to right. And then lastly, circle the largest place with different digits. Okay, so we were able to get our final statement. 12,258 and 44 hundredths is less than 12,561 and 7 hundredths. So that concludes our lesson for the day. I hope everybody's ready for college. Who's going to college? Put if you already know what college you're going to, put it in the chat. Let me know. If you still deciding and you just know that you're going to college, you don't know which one yet, that's okay. But if you going to college and you know which one you're going to, go ahead, let me put that in your chat. Rep your college. Rep your college. Okay, I see Spelman. Okay, Josiah said Morehouse. We got some Spellhouse in the building. Y'all know Miss Reese went to Spelman. All right, Josiah gonna come. Davion gonna come on over to Georgia State, the real GSU. So y'all know y'all gotta talk that trash to Miss Edmond when y'all see her for stream. She went to the fake GSU, Georgia Southern. But you know, if you really real, you gonna go to that real GSU, which is Georgia State. All right. Okay, Kendall said Alabama State. Destiny gonna go to Georgia Tech. That's what I'm talking about, Georgia Tech. Love it, love it. Harvard, I got Harvard in the building. I got some scholars. All right, guys. So you guys have about 12 minutes before you go to Mr. White. We will continue working on comparing decimals in small groups tomorrow. So I can't wait to see y'all. Make sure you coming in on time at 9:30. Love y'all. See you tomorrow.
Bye, guys. Have a great day.